Hello everyone. Today I'm doing the 2024 KZN Maths paper 1. It was written in March. Yeah, it was the term 1 test rather. It's the cycle test. Okay. I'm question 1, I'm asked to indicate each of the following whether each of the following numbers are irrational or rational. This one is irrational. Why? Because it has a long decimal. All together. And then this one is rational. This one is rational. This one is also rational. This one is irrational as well. It has a long decimal. This one you can write, this one I said it's irrational because you can simply write this as 2.5 as 5 over 2. The cube root of 8 is equal to 2. All together. However, the last two, the first one and the last one, they have long decimals, so we regard them as irrational numbers. Write down two rational numbers between that and the okay. There's root 2 in between. Oh. There's the square root of 2, and then we have the square root of 3, square root of 4, square root of 5, square root of 6, 7, 8, 9, the square root of 10. Okay, in between these numbers there are two rational numbers. Which ones are those? I will highlight them in black. The square root of 4 and the square root of 9. Why? Because the square root of 4 is equal to 2 and the square root of 9 is equal to 3. Are you together? So that's why I highlighted those two. I'm supposed to write this fraction, this decimal number as a fraction. How can I do so? I can simply say, let me write in blue. I can simply say let 0.11111111 recurring equal to x. So by just doing this, now I formulated an equation, and this equation I can call equation 1. Are you together? So I can just say multiply. I can just take equation 1 and multiply it by 10 for me to have a significant number before the comma. Are you together? How can I write? Let me write this. What am I doing? I'm multiplying equation 1 by 10. Are you together? So therefore I'll have 1.11111111 recurring, and I'll also have 10x. So by doing this, now I have equation 2. I just need to find x now. How can I do so? I can say equation 2 minus equation 1. That simply means I'll have 1.11111 minus 0.11111. What will I get? I will get 1 is equal to 10x minus x. Let me write this down actually, instead of just talking. Okay, I'll have 1.1111111. There's a comma here, ne? Minus 0.1111111 recurring is equal to 10x minus x. And then here I'll be left with 1. Here I'll be left with 9x. So therefore x is equal to 1 over 9. But please remember, we said x is equal to this in our first step. So therefore we can say that 0.111111 recurring is equal to 1 over 9. Are we together? So that's how we deal with that thing. Okay, and then I'm supposed to factorize fully here. It's a difference of cubes. It's simple. For the first bracket, I just need to find the cube root of the first term, which is x. The cube root of the second term is -2. And then I just need to find the terms on the other bracket. I will only use what's inside the first bracket. Are you together? The first term, I'll get it by squaring the first term on the bracket. I'll have x squared. To get the last term, I'll square the -2. I'll have a +4. And then in between here, I'll just multiply these two. X multiplied by a -2 is -2x, but I'll just change the sign. I'll write +2x. This is how I factorize. And then here I have 2x cubed plus x squared minus, I can take out a common factor of -3 here, be left with 2x plus 1. This thing is equal to, let me write in red. On the first two terms, I can take out a common factor as well. Why didn't I just write that from the beginning? Hey, let me just do that. Whenever I factorize here, there's a common factor on the first two terms, which is what? X squared. When I take out x squared, I'll be left with 2x plus 1. And then on the last two terms, there is a common factor as well, is -3. When I take out -3, I'll be left with -2x plus 1. And then now the 2x plus 1 is common, so I will have 2x plus 1, and I will have x squared minus 3. Are we together? The x squared minus 3 let me just erase this guy here because I've already explained it. I've already explained about him. And then here I'll further have 2x plus 1, then x minus the square root of 3, x plus the square root of 3. This here is a difference of two squares, right? The square root of x squared is x. There is x and there is x. The square root of 3 is the square root of 3. I've written it there with change in signs. That's how you factorize. And then here it's a difference of two squares as well. What's the square root of x to the power 4 is x squared. The square root of 16 is 4. Are you together? Okay, I can further factorize the first brackets because it's a difference of two squares. I'll have x and x, 2 and 2, minus and plus. Excuse me. Then here I'll have x squared plus 4. This one cannot be factorized. The sum of two squares cannot be factorized. Ooh. Question 1.5.1, I'm supposed to simplify fully. Fully simplify. The first bracket is already simplified. I just need to factorize the second one. The factors of 1, that's when I add, will give me 2. Those are just 1 and 1. Please check the first lesson number 1, whereby I teach factorizing, guys. If you're struggling with factorizing, please go there and check that video. Alright, together, and then here all I need to do is to just open this bracket 2 times, because the square simply means that this thing is multiplied twice. Are we together? And then 1.5.3, please note that whenever I deal with exponents, go and check lesson number 6, if not 7. Whenever I have plus and minuses separating my terms, the first thing I need to do is to also separate my exponents. Alright, together. So here what I'll do, I'll have 2 to the power x minus 2 to the power x all over 2. Let me write. This thing is explained. Just open the bracket 2 times. Let me erase this and write it here. Okay, now let's do 1.5.3. 2 to the x. The first thing I need to do is to separate the exponents, right? So I'll have 2 to the x all over 2, and then I'll have 2 to the x plus 1. No man, 2 to the x plus 1 can be written as 2 to the x multiplied by 2 minus 2 to the x. Are we together? So in here, I can take out a common factor of 2 to the x. I'll be left with 1 minus half all over 2 to the x, 2 minus 1. I know that this will cancel this, and then 1 minus half will give me a half. 2 minus 1 will give me 1. So my answer is 1 over 2. Are we together? Together. Okay, now I'm supposed to simplify fractions. For me to simplify fractions, I must make sure that all my denominators are simplified. Being simplified simply means that all the denominators need to be factorized. So I have 3a minus 4 plus 2a plus 3 minus 21. Here my LCD, I have a 4 and 3 minus let me write, yes, a 4 and 3 minus and plus. The factors of 12, that's when I subtract, will give me 1. That's 4 and 3. Please guys, go and check lesson number 1, whereby I factorize fully. Now I have my LCD. I'm adding fractions and I have denominators. I need to have the LCD together. Then write the LCD down, multiply each and every term by the LCD. Whenever I multiply the first term by the LCD, the first term, by the way, is equal to, let me write this in red, it's 3 over a minus 4. And if I multiply this by a minus 4 and then a plus 3, this will cancel this, and then these two will multiply one another. So I will be left with 3 a plus 3. Are we together? And then when I take the second term, I have 2. Is it 2? Yes, 2 over a plus 3 multiplied by a minus 4 and a plus 3. The a plus 3's will cancel. I'll be left with 2 a minus 4. When I take 21, a minus 4 and a plus 3 multiplied by a minus 4 and a plus 3, this will cancel this will cancel this. I'll be left with 21, as I just wrote there. Let me just remove this. So now I will be left with I will have these two will multiply. I must remove brackets now at the top. I will have 3a plus 9 plus 2a minus 8 minus 21 rather. This thing is all over a minus 4 a plus 3. 3a plus a, that's 5a. 9 minus 8 is 1, and then 1 minus 21, I'll get a minus 20 all over a minus 4 multiplied by a plus 3. I can take out a common factor at the top, which is 5. I'll be left with a minus 4 all over a minus 4 and then a plus 3. This will cancel this, and then I will be left with 5 over a plus 3. Are we together? So that's how you simplify a fraction. Now let's move to question 2. Okay, question 2, I'm about to solve x. Solving x is simple here because already I have two things multiplied and the answer is 0. It simply means that x is equal to negative 3 or x is equal to 1. That's why it's 2 marks. Are you together? And then for the second one, let me write it in red. I have to factorize first. Please guys, if you're struggling with factorizing, go and check factorizing and solving x rather. Go and check the first two lessons, lesson 1 and lesson 2. You won't have a problem, believe me. Whenever I factorize here, I'll have 2x, x, 2 and 1. The sign here is plus, so it's simple. My brackets will have the same signs, but not just any sign of the middle term. Then x is half, or x is 2. Okay, then 2 point 2.1.3, I need to solve x, and x is at the exponents. At the exponent, not in 2 to the power 3x minus 1 is 64. I must always try to make bases to be the same and then make the exponents to be equal. 64 can be written as 2 to the power 6. Now my bases are the same, the exponents should be equal. So I'll have 3x minus 1 is equal to 6. And then 3x is equal to 7. That means x is 7 over 3. Are we together? Okay. 2.4, let's answer 2.4 there at the top. 2.1.4, I have 27. (81) 2x plus 1. Always try to make bases to be the same, then the exponent should be equal. 27 is written as 3 cubed. I have x minus 2, and then 81 is 3 to the power 4. I have 2x plus 1. There's a rule in exponents that says powers and exponents, they multiply one another. So I will have 3 to the power 3x minus 6, then 3 to the power 8x plus 4. Now my bases are the same. That thing simply means that the exponents should be equal. So I'll have 8x minus 6 is equal to, why did I say 8x there? In fact, let me continue with this thing there. Do I have space? Okay, I'll have 3x minus 6 is equal to 8x plus 4. And then when I take the 8 to the other side, I'll have 3x minus 8x. It will give me negative 5x. And then 6 to the other side, I'll have 4 plus 6, which is 10. That means x is negative 2. So here x is negative 2 for this one, and then for this one x is 7 over 3. Okay, now I'm supposed to solve this inequality. It's simple. I just need to isolate x. So the first thing I'll do, I'll be left with 2x. I'll subtract 4 on the left hand side and on the right hand side as well. Then I'll have negative 6 and 2 here, because I'll have negative 2 minus 4, it will give me negative 6, and then 6 minus 4 will give me 2 on the right hand side. Then I'll divide everything by 2. I'll be left with x here, I'll be left with 3 and 1 here. All together. And question 2.3, I'm supposed to solve for x and y simultaneously. What do I have? I have x plus 3y minus 5 equal to 0 as my first equation. Then I have 2x minus 6y plus 2 as my second equation. I can simply say from equation 1 I can say x is equal to 5 minus 3y. I've isolated x and left everything and put everything to on the right hand side. Substitute equation 3 in equation 2. Okay, whenever I do that, simply means whenever I see x on equation 2, I must put 5 minus 3y. I have 2x there. Whenever I see x, I must put 5 minus 3y. So now it will be easy for me to solve because I have one unknown. So 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. I have 6y there. And I have another 6y plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay. 12y plus 12 is 0. Negative 12y is equal to negative 12. Y is 1 when I divide both sides by 12. Now I solve for y, I just need to find x. Remember that I've created equation 3. I'll therefore say x is equal to 5 minus 3y. Whenever I see y, I'll put my 1 there, and then x is 2. So I'll just write it as a point. X is 2 and y is 1. Are you together? Okay, the difference between two numbers is 5. 6 times the smaller number is equal to 4 times the greater number. Find the numbers. Please take a screenshot, guys, if you can, or pause the video and write down the simultaneous equation answer because I want to erase it. Okay, let's erase it to create space. Please, guys, if you want to check exponents, go to lesson 6, if not 7. Yeah, I did exponents there. If you're struggling with them, go there. And then inequalities is lesson number 3. Okay, the difference between two numbers is 5 and 6 is 5 rather, ne? 6 times the smaller number is equal to 4 times the greater number. Find the numbers. We can say that let the smaller number be equal to x. Are we together? And the larger number be equal to y. Okay. We are told that whenever we say the difference between the two, let's say y minus x, is equal to 5. According to the first statement, the difference between the two numbers is 5, right? Okay. 6 times the smaller number is equal to 4 times the larger number. This thing simply means that 6x is equal to 4y. 6 times the smaller number, which is x, is equal to 4 times the larger number, just like this. Are we together? So this thing simply means that for me to find y, I just need to divide x. I just need to divide by 4, right? Then y will be 3 over 2x. Now I know what is the value of y. I just need to find x. So whenever I see y, I can put 3 over 4, 3 over 2 rather, 3 over 2x minus x is equal to 5. I want to solve x and I have fractions, so I need to multiply everything by the LCD. I'll have 3x minus 2x is 10. That means x is 10. Are we together? So now I know that x is 10. I can go back and find y. So y is 3 over 2 multiplied by 10. Then I'll get 15. So the smaller number is 10 and the larger number is 15. Are we together? Okay, I was told that the difference between two numbers is 5. Here, like, yeah, you just need to take whatever statement they tell you and then change it to be a numerical equation. Are we together? I just said that because I have two numbers, there's a smaller number and a bigger number. Are we together? The first statement, I'm told that excuse me, on the first statement I'm told that if I subtract the two numbers, I'll get 5. That's what I just did there. Big number minus the small number is 5. And then I'm also told that 6 times the bigger number is equal to 4 times I mean 6 times the smaller number is equal to 4 times the bigger number here. Are you together? And then what I did was to just isolate y. Then I found my y value. After finding my y value, just substituted it back to this equation because I was told that the difference is 5. Whenever I see y, I'll just put 3 over 2x. Then I solved x. I found the smaller value. After that, then I found the larger value. And indeed, whenever I subtract the two, when I say 15 minus 2 minus 10, I will get 5. Are we together, guys? Yeah. Okay. Now let's move to 2.5. 2.5. Now let's move to 2.5. I'm asked to prove that Q is equal to P over P minus 1. Okay, Q is 1 over, okay, I can write this as 1 over 3 to the x, right? This thing will be 3 to the x plus 1 all over 3 to the x. Are you together? So I know that 1 plus 3 to the x is equal to p. So I can write this as what's at the bottom. If I say 1 plus 3 to the x minus 1, it's the same as this, is the same as this thing, because 1 minus 1 is simply 0. Are you together? So Q will be equal to what's at the top? 1 plus 3 to the x is given as p, right? So whenever I see 1 plus 3 to the x, I must write p. So this thing will be p, and then these two will also be equal to p, so I can just do that right together. Yeah, this is how you answer the algebra questions. Okay, please check the first 7 lessons, guys, where I deal with algebra. Please do so. Thank you.